Hi everyone, Haojin here. So I thought I'd just do this quick video to share with you guys because a lot of my clients have been asking me this question. How's the HDB market in 2026? I'm sure if you have a HDB, you also kind of have this lingering thought and question, especially if you are remotely looking to explore the market in the next year or so. So I thought I'd just do this video and share with all of you. So firstly, I'm going to talk about a few things. So I have my outline here, so I'm just going to refer to it and I'm going to share with you guys. So firstly, let's talk about the current market itself. So 2026, we're expecting it to be a sideways kind of HDB market in a sense. What do you mean sideways? It wouldn't be a direct crash. It wouldn't be a continue rising kind of trend, but I would say it's more of a sideline. So there won't be too much of a upside or too much of a drop. It's more of stagnating and consolidation in terms of the price point. But the key issue is really the supply, because now, as you know, in 2026, the number of flats that are reaching the MOP supply is expected to jump from 8,000 last year, 2025, all the way up to 13,500 units that is coming out to MOP in 2026. So that's a really big increase in the resale supply. And on top of that, there are also other projects that are launching from HDB sites, such as your new BTOs. They're increasing the supply of that as well. Your sale of balance flat, the government is also increasing the supply of that as well. So that kind of really adds up and kind of pushes in a lot of units and supply into the market, which of course we know with supply increasing, with the same demand, the prices will tend to take a hit there also lah. The market kind of shifts from a easy kind of selling to moving towards the buyer's market, where buyers will have a lot more selection and a lot more units to choose from, which allows them to have more bargaining power in the process as well. And then this is one of the reasons why some flats will perform and some flats will kind of suffer. So what are these two flats? Let me just share with you. So key thing to take note is that now a lot of owners, they overlook this part, the age of their flat. So there's a new and an old flat dynamic. So whatever happens in the condo market, be it when there's new launch coming out, when new condos are released to the market, it kind of pushes the nearby resale upwards in terms of price point. But we have to really understand that in the HDB market, it's really the opposite, because when a BTO hits its 5-year MOP mark, it enters the resale market at a price that's kind of still attractive when it really just released a fresh 5 years flat. So because it's subsidized, and then all these sellers that are going to the market, they kind of are in the mindset where they just let it go, they want to move on to their next stage. So with a lot of all these such MOP units coming to the market, it kind of makes it very competitive, and it's kind of like a price war in all these estates where there's a lot of MOP flats hitting the market. So this will kind of impact the price point, because sellers are kind of losing their bargaining power as well. Okay, so the main thing to consider is, so now if we have different flats available for us. For example, if I'm looking at a flat in the Hougang area, I have a brand new one. I have a 5-year MOP, just out fresh from the oven, fresh lease, fresh environment, everything is new. And then I have something that is 10 years old, that is slightly older, but still quite pretty okay. And I have something that 20 years old, that is kind of catching up in terms of its age, and it's more rundown and stuff. So of course, buyers, when they have presented with such offerings, they will of course go for something newer with a fresher lease, newer environment, and also fewer long-term concerns, because newer flats with a longer lease tend to hold their value better as well lah. Keeping your flat is not wrong, but of course looking at its age and how it actually preserves your wealth is more important in that angle. So one thing to note, that if we are also seeing price stagnation that is happening in places like Hougang and Choa Chu Kang, 30-40-year-old flats are already transacting at similar prices as compared to 9 to 11-year-old kind of flats, which is quite concerning, especially if you're holding onto a 30-40-year-old flat. Yes, your flat is maybe nearer to MRT or like maybe bigger in size, but main thing to note is that people, they have a preference of going for something newer. And then another reason why is also because older flats, they tend to have a lot more hidden risk, such as firstly shrinking buyer pool due to the CPF usage restrictions, due to the age of the flat, financing restrictions, and then also HDB prices. They are not meant to be investment. I mean, HDB itself, they are not meant to be investment, so their prices will not rise, but it's more of seeing which kind of flats kind of preserve the most value at this point of time lah. So I would say, with this uncertain market, we don't know, the prices are going up and down, but I think one thing for sure is we can kind of be prepared for it. Actually, I've been working with a few sellers and clients. They are looking to do some kind of analysis in a sense where what can you do to protect your value in your current flat. So many are starting with a simple property health check. Basically what we will do is we'll run through if their flat is exposed to any incoming supply, if their flat is old, or if their flat the age is coming up and starting to see any form of lease decay. Then from there we can actually kind of evaluate and see what are the next steps to mitigate the risk that is involved. So one common strategy that I always share is also to swap rather than to wait. So what swapping means, basically you can maybe swap to a newer flat with a fresher lease with a stronger buyer demand in future to kind of protect and safeguard your value. We can also swap closer to MRT, which is also a form of long-term resistance in a sense where your flat will kind of hold its value due to its location as well. We can also swap to a bigger unit. Say if a family is holding a 3-4 room unit, they're looking to upsize to a 5-room unit, as 5-room flats, as you know, in the supply in the market, they do not have as much supply as 4 rooms. So it kind of, create that form of scarcity effect also if you're moving up to a 5-room unit, because there will be less supply, and then also you kind of get more control over your pricing as well. So these are some kind of strategies that we will look at and to take a look and analyze. So I mean, for owners planning, to explore property remotely in the next 1 or 2 years, I think this is a good strategy that I'll offer to my clients, and to also maybe just to share with them more on how to go about planning this. And if you are keen, just let me know. Happy to share more. Alright, so overall, I think this is what I want to share for the HDB market in 2026. If you guys have any questions, just feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to share with you. Any other concerns that you might have or you want me to address, happy to also kind of link up with you and maybe hop on a call just to, do a quick call with you to understand you as well. So yeah, that's all. Anything, just feel free to reach out. Then yeah, happy weekend. Take care.